All right, welcome to Life Fit with DVD. Welcome back. I got my glasses on today. It was a early morning, and my glasses are crooked, but we're just gonna do it anyway. We're gonna do it anyway. Um, so today I wanted to talk about building self trust and what that is, what that looks like, why am I talking about it, right? So building self trust is something that has been a very big issue in my life in trying to actually uh, do the things that I want, follow my vision for what I can see what I feel that my life would benefit from, that my whole life would benefit from. And I can't get over these glasses. This is just so ridiculous. All right, I'll take them off. I'll take them off. Um, but in building self trust, you know, I was looking at a few different archetypes, based on my my birth chart, getting into human design and astrology, and in this case, it was a new representation or archetype for what I'm grounded in, and all of this was about building self trust, and I wanted to just get into that a bit today because it has been a very long road for me in building self trust. Um, in that I'm walking a path that is, uniquely mine. It's a vision that I have seen that I don't really know anybody else that's doing what I'm doing, but I'm doing it right. I'm following my path, and it's been hard. It hasn't been an easy thing, but the more time that goes on in this process, um, I do feel more confident in taking leaps of faith that feel right for me. So when I talk about the self trust, I mean, at this point, what I'm doing primarily is I'm trading. I am a trader, and I got into financial markets over a decade ago, just as a hobby, but even as a child, like I always thought it would be kind of cool to kind of do that with following patterns and having all the screens up, and like I didn't want the stress of Wall Street, right? You think a trader, you think maybe Wall Street or just hedge fund or something like that. But I wanted to, to just follow those patterns and be able to benefit from this market trends. But I wanted to do it on my own terms, right? I wanted to have the autonomy to do what I wanted when I wanted to do it, and in general, just following market patterns, market cycles, things over a long period of time has been, of incredible interest to me. And because I've had that interest, right? Because I've had that drive to keep coming back and just trying to figure out what's going on here, what is happening next, and just trying to develop a plan and have an imagination, right? It's one of my last videos. That's what it was about, developing your imagination. In building, a plan, you need to have some imagination to envision a better future. So it's not just for your own life, but it also can be for whatever your craft is in envisioning whatever you're trying to create, or a path that the market could be following. And in developing this plan and trying to follow it, trying to trade it, it has been incredibly humbling because I have gotten ripped around and washed out, and I've lost a lot, uh, uh, but I'm improving, and I'm getting to the point where I have, a great amount of self trust in myself, in my trading, that uh, it's helping me to free my mind into other projects, right, like this. And in this whole archetype, model that I was following, it's called the Success Codex, by, I think it's Ankara Rose, and it's an interesting model that follows some of these other models based on human design, astrology, gene keys, and it's more for building your unique path, getting on the path that is really uniquely you, using four different kind of paths. I think it's there's a balance path, a transformation path, a growth path, and the last one I can't think of off the top of my head. Once again, I am doing this without classes, so it's kind of funny not being able to see. It's an impact path. Um, so in building my impact, right, this is about developing self-trust for me. So this is what I'm trying to lean into today by talking about how to cultivate more self-trust. And the reason that this has been such a big issue for me is, I what's uniquely me, and everybody will be different, but we need to experiment, right? I need to experiment. I need to investigate. I need to experiment with things to try to find what is best for me, my path. So to do that, right, like it's a process in building confidence that you can do the things that you want to do, and that starts with accountability. It starts with responsibility, keeping promises to yourself. If you say something to yourself or another person, you actually do it. You actually follow up on these things. And if you can't do it, or you feel like you've overextended yourself, be honest about that. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with other people. If there seems to be some sort of upset around your behavior or your actions, but communicate it, right? Communicate to yourself. Communicate to other people. If you don't know, right? Not knowing is an answer as well. You can tell people that. And just trying to be accountable to yourself will build an enormous amount of self-trust, in that you'll be able to be reliable, right? There's a lot of people nowadays that aren't very reliable, that end up being quite flaky. They don't seem to be aware of things that they say and then not follow through on them. And for me, that's how can you trust somebody when you ask them to do something and then they don't do it, right? If you're going to do it, at least keep your promise. Or on the other end of things, if you did make a mistake and you didn't keep your promise, right, you know at least apologize, right? Or apologize to the other person, or develop some compassion for yourself and forgive yourself. That's a great way to look at things from the internal and external way, and to just develop this accountability for yourself. But this takes self-awareness. It takes practice. It takes putting yourself in a variety of different situations to see how you're going to respond. You might put yourself in a situation and not respond how you think you would. You might forget. Things might not feel right. But the important thing is to learn from your mistakes. And obviously, you don't want to be making the same mistake over and over again. If you are going to cultivate self-trust, building trust in yourself, you need to be able to be honest when you have made a mistake. So this is also setting realistic expectations, and of course, you need to seek out help as well, whether it be through a mentor or a coach, and somebody that you can trust, right? If you find it hard to trust yourself, and that's a challenge for you, maybe you need somebody in your corner that's going to fight for you and hold you accountable. Growing up, that's not something I really had. It's just not my experience growing up. And at the same time, it's something I could have really benefited from to develop a proper foundation of self-trust. So, I mean, if that's something that you're interested in hearing more about, I'd be happy to help with any coaching or mentoring that you might need. Let me know in the comments if you're trying to work on something and having trouble building trust in yourself and your own process and the things that you're doing. It'd be really interesting to hear. But if you like this video, like or subscribe. That would mean a tremendous amount to me. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.